What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and some interesting developments have started to happen. So, as I'm sure many of you guys know, they have been sending out information and some kind of polls and options on different ways to change the migration system that we know. And anyway, kind of fast forward, and it seemed to happen almost seemingly overnight, which I'm sure is not the case. I'm sure there's been some planning that has gone into it for these different servers and different alliances, but seemingly overnight, there have been a handful of different servers and different alliances that have kind of really climbed up the power rankings and are becoming, real contenders in Warpath. And so it begs the question, is Epic, / Legendary returning to kind of Warpath's glory days? Are we getting ready to have a full 8 roster team set up in the Epic battlefield that's actually fairly balanced? So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at some of the most recent power rankings, as well as one other server that is not all together just yet, but that is probably going to become a top contender, or at least one of the top 8 teams potentially. And we're going to kind of discuss what the future might look like. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back, guys. I hope everybody is doing well. So, like I said, I saw somebody post this picture of the most recent kind of updated power rankings for the top 10 alliances across Warpath. And like I said, it seemingly overnight took place. And like I said, it begs the question, are we making a return to the epic glory days of Warpath, where we have a full balanced legendary battlefield? But before we jump in and take a look at the picture and start discussing some of these alliances and servers, if you guys enjoy this video and want to keep updated on all of the things happening across Warpath, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. All right, now let's go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to pull up the picture that shows the overview of the top 10 teams, and then I'm also going to show you guys one alliance that is still broke up into smaller teams within the same server that I anticipate are going to come together under one alliance. And if that does happen, and that is the case, they are absolutely going to be kind of thrust into the top 10 as well. All right, so today is January 22nd, and as you can see here, this picture was taken on January 21st, so this is less than a full 24 hours, at least at the time of recording this video old. So you guys can see an overview of the top 10 teams. We have got number 1, Server 40 S40. We have got number 2, Server 34, the 300 Alliance. Server 3, Clan Gothic. Number 4 is Server 49. This is F2P. Number 5 is 44 with, we're just going to go 44, AIM 44. And then number 6 is also another 44 team, Suicide Squad. These two have kind of beefed up for a different reason, and it's not really to push Epic, from my understanding. They are in a civil war within their server, so things do not seem to be going well there. I'm not really sure all of the details, but with that being said, I think that's kind of why they, have beefed up. Now, whether that's sustainable or not, I probably don't think that's going to be sustainable. If you've got a civil war going on, that means both sides really don't like each other for some reason. So whichever side becomes victorious will obviously kind of be who's left standing, and I would anticipate that the team that ends up losing is probably going to migrate pretty quickly out of that server. Obviously, I don't know that for certain. That's just kind of what I've seen in the past with Warpath. So anything's possible. I just don't think these two are going to be, they're probably going to be put into Epic based on their overall power. They're probably just not going to be actually competing, because they're going to be more worried about the home front. And then we've got in the 7th spot, 32 Corp. And then we have got in the number 8 spot, 27 Nighttown. And the number 9 spot, we've got Server 52, the Shocker. And then in the 10th spot, another 32 team, Vikings. This 52 team is not going to be put into Epic simply because they are on the other rotation. And from my understanding, they do not want to be an Epic team. So kind of disregard them. I'm sure these 232 teams are probably kind of in that same boat. They may be put into Epic, but I don't think they're really striving for Epic. Could be wrong. 27, not really sure kind of where they stand. They're always, you know, really good, a really good team. They always fight hard, so they'll probably be put in Epic, maybe not. You know, they're kind of able to kind of fit wherever. So we'll see, but we're starting to make progress, guys. We're starting to make progress. Epic is starting to get a little bit more beefed up again. I know, like I said, Gothic is kind of loading up. We've got F2P, we've got 300, we've got 40, and there's one more team here that is building up that we're going to jump back into Warpath, and I'm going to show you. All right, so the other server that I am talking about that is, you know, starting to gain a little ground here in terms of overall power is going to be server 2. Now, if we click on server 2, and we go to the #1 Road to Valor rankings, because their teams aren't fully built out yet, you guys can start to see some of the teams these players are scattered about on. So we've got P and G. So if we click on here, we can see they're 4.8 billion. These guys are just kind of fresh migrating in there. They're kind of sitting in a holding alliance from my understanding, or maybe this will end up being the main alliance. I don't know. They've got a handful of strong players, nothing crazy. Same thing, if we go back now and we click on this, I guess, like II Alliance or whatever, if we come over here, we can see same thing. I think they're kind of in a holding pattern right now. Not entirely sure on that, but this is 19.2 billion. And then you can kind of see these are some fresh migrants in. Vive, obviously, you guys are familiar with him. He was the R5 of S24 and S42 when I was in both of those teams. He went to server 53 and then he was there for one event and then has since left. So this right here, him being here, tells me that there is kind of something brewing. And then they've kind of got a hodgepodge of, you know, players from different servers. So they've got, you know, some from us in server 40. It looks like they've got some from S34, 300, and then they've obviously got some just kind of from all over the place. So, you know, they seem to be kind of amassing some talent here as well. Not really sure what their, you know, goal is, what they're building towards, if they're going to try to be an Epic team or not. But this is another team to kind of throw into the mix, especially if they all merge into, you know, one team that is going to be another big force to be reckoned with. So that right there is going to put, you know, at least 5 really strong candidates in the kind of Epic legendary conversation. And if that's the case, you know, we'll have to start to see if more teams are going to start to build up and make their way into Epic as well. With that being said, that's going to wrap us up for the video, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Legendary is on the rise again? Do you think teams are starting to build up to want to compete at that highest level? Do you think this is kind of a coincidence? Do you think these teams are going to potentially sandbag to you know, not have to compete in Legendary? I would love to know everybody's thoughts and opinions in the comments. If you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you've got access to Discord and are not already in the community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video. Click on that link. It will take you right into the community Discord server. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.